Hello. When was the last time you made a 5x7 card using off-white card base? We don't use that very often. We always seem to use the white card base. So today I'm going to use an off-white card base and I'm going to make a thinking of you card based on roses. I don't know if you know this about me, but I do love my roses and I can't wait that it's springtime and the roses are starting to leaf out. Let's get started on the card. My name is Sue with S Creations Crafts, and I am glad that you're able to join me today. I have a very hopefully simple project. I'm using a 5x7 card base, but I'm going to use it in off-white instead of the traditional white. And then I'm using some layering stencils from Lisa Horton Crafts. I have not used her stencils before, but I love this set because it's got roses and I absolutely love roses. So many different colors that this can be. So I'm really anxious to use this set. And then I have her tacky mat, which will allow me to put the layer stencils down, as well as it's a great sticky mat for holding the paper down. Just like holds it down so I can stencil. So I'll be using that today. So that's and I'm going to use some my Gina K Designs inks. That's what I'll be using for all the different colors. So let's get started in this project. And I hope even if you don't have this set, that you can follow along and color with me. So I have it on the sticky mat, and then I also have this down just to stop it from doing that. So I'm going to start off with this is the first one. Get out the green. This one is called Jelly Bean Green. I'm doing this with the lightest green. And since this is roses, I know that my roses have a little bit of red in their leaves right now. So I'm going to add a little bit of red velvet. It's going to kind of give it a little bit of a brown look to it. But just along the edges, this gives it that little bit of red. Right now my leaves on my roses have red on them. Oh, and for the butterfly up here, I'm going to go ahead and use the black. Oops. One thing I notice about the sticky mat is the ink pads actually stay kind of nice. So I've got, this is the black. Oh my gosh. Hopefully that works out in the end. And then number 2, line it up with the dots. Again, I'm going to use the black. Cover up that black because knowing me, I will make a mess on that. Okay, still done. Then I'm going to use the grass green for these leaves. If you are not using the card front and you're just using a panel, you wouldn't have to hold down the card as well. I'm just doing that because I'm using it's thicker for the panel for the card because it's a thick card base. Okay, then I want to go in a little bit with that red again. Just on the bottoms. Okay, so I already did. Okay, no more red. I could put that away. Number 3 is going to be the outline of the rose. That down. So I'm going to do that in the sweet corn, which is like a pale yellow, if you happen to have a different color. See how that ink pad is just staying right there. Since this is the base color, I'm going to go in with a little craft, which is like a little bit of a brown just around the edges. Just do a light shading around the bottom. So you can just barely see the roses, and then you come in with this one. And now we've got the butterfly, and I'm going to do the butterfly in Wild Dandelion, which is the brightest yellow I have. Just like that. And for the rose, I'm going to use a sweet mango, which is a little bit of a like an orangish color. And do the tops. Remember, I did the bottom in craft, so now I'm doing the top areas in the orangish color. I used to have a beautiful rose in my yard. It was like an apricot. This kind of reminds me of that. Somehow it turned into red roses. I don't know what happened to the apricot rose, but it's not there anymore. Okay, so that's that. The next is 5, which is going to bring back the black for the butterfly. But before I do that, I'm going to do the stems because I'm going to do those in like a gray. What I have here is a moonlit fog. It's kind of like a green gray. So it's lighter than the black, and I only have the one brush. So I'm going to go ahead and do my stems in that color. I know right now the roses are coming in, the new branches are actually coming in and as a bright green branch, but there's no roses on them, so I'll just pretend like this is a further along in the season. Okay, now I can go ahead and do the black. For the butterfly.
Kind of wobbly, aren't you?
I'm just having a hard time sticking it today. Line this up. And now you don't have to do the prongs. Oh, what, they're not called prongs. What are they called? Anyway, but I kind of like to have those on there just to give it a little dimension, because I'm not going to emboss. There is an embossing folder for this, but I don't want to have the embossed image on the inside of the card, so I'm not going to emboss. So I'm going to go ahead and do these veins. And I have a dark spruce. Just lightly go over it. I don't want it to be real dark like the dark spruce could be. I just want to have color. For the butterfly, I think I'll go back to the sweet mango, which is what I used in the flower, and use that on the butterfly. Now, since I messed up with the black, I'm kind of going dark on here because I've got to try to fix the black. Yeah, I don't know what you think, but I'm not very pleased with the butterfly because I moved, but I like the flowers. And here, so okay, here's a real real issue. I didn't like the butterfly at all. I didn't like the way I colored it. I didn't like the way it moved. I didn't like the way I tried to fix it with the purple. I'm not happy with it. So I'm going to redo the whole thing. However, really, I'm not going to redo it because I also ordered the die set for the rose, and I'm going to wait for the die set to come in, and I'm going to die cut the flower out so I could use it on another card and just ignore the butterfly. So I'm not going to finish this card because I'm going to go ahead and wait for that die because I really like this part, and I'll just put it on another card. I wanted to show you one that I did do without the butterfly, and which is what I was going to add to this one. I did Thinking of You, and I wanted to put Thinking of You across here so it would look like that in craft. But I don't want to stamp that on there now because I'm going to cut this out. So there's the two different types of cards. Ignore the butterfly, and this one I like the way these colors came out better for the leaves, with the reds and the greens better than this one. I just wanted you to see that there are how it was going to go, but I'm going to scratch this card out, wait for the die cut, cut it out, and then put it on another card. This is real-time crafting where things don't always work out the way we want it, but we're going to make it work next time. And I do hope you enjoyed this video and you have a chance to use the Lisa Horton Crafts stencils. They're beautiful. So again, I hope you enjoyed it and you get a chance to try these products. And I'm so glad you joined me in my craft room. If you can like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video.